Welcome, everyone. My name is Kai, and I love to explore life through solo travel, camping, and hiking and overall well being. This channel is a way for me to document my explorations and share pieces of it with you. I travel by plane, train, ship, or automobile. And I started this journey in a very small vehicle until it broke down in the state of Alabama. But now I travel in my Jeep Cherokee, and I would love for you to subscribe and become an explorer with me. Hey, y'all. So, this is some essential steps for beginners who are thinking about car camping in 2025. And this is preparing for car camping, van life, even if it's part time or even if you're thinking about doing it full time. But I hope that you will find something in this video that will help get you started, jump started, and you're prepping for that type of lifestyle in the year 2025. Car camping and van life is becoming huge and very popular. So most people are very much aware of the trend. And if you're somebody that is contemplating starting van life or car camping, regardless of what type of vehicle you have, there are certain things that you should definitely consider before you begin doing it. Great preparation will make it the most enjoyable experience. I know it has for me. The things that I'm going to be mentioning are going to be more specific to the year 2025 for those who may be thinking that next year is when they're going to start van life or car camping or whatever explorations that they actually have. A lot of things are changing and we really need to know what those things are. They're getting a little bit more strict with, overnight camping and stealth camping and, in places that most people are kind of abusing. They're cracking down on it. So to know some of the trends and the things that are going on is key. Some people have very small cars. I know I had a very small car when I first started car camping. So start with what you have, whatever you have. You don't need to begin car camping with the biggest vehicle or the vehicle that you ultimately want to get. Start with what you have, but make sure that it has enough space for you to be able to sleep in, that it is fuel efficient, because you don't need no gas guzzler when you riding 1,000 miles or 300 miles away and the cost of gas is kicking your butt. And it's definitely important to make sure your car is reliable. Minivans are, a good vehicle because it gives you a lot more space. But let's face it, there's not a whole lot of people that want to drive on a regular basis a minivan. But for those who want to actually live in their vehicle, a minivan is beneficial. It may not be the best vehicle to be able to stand up in, but minivans do give a lot of room for what you may need for short trips. And let's face it, not everybody can afford vans like Sprinter vans or RV vehicles or bigger vehicles. You also want to determine whether or not you're going to want to do this part-time or just on the weekends or just weekly vacations whenever you can take them. But definitely do your research now because some places, depending on the weather, you'll be miserable. So make sure you pick a place and you understand their terrain, you understand their weather, you understand the type of time of year to go that is going to be more of an enjoyable trip because I have gone to places and I was freaking miserable being there. And you definitely want to make sure that you understand what the local rules are for overnight camping, because it used to be a time where everybody could stay at Walmart's, in Cracker Barrels and other places. But as a result of some abuse, they are cracking down on some of those places. So know ahead of time about those places that you're choosing to go. And if you're already thinking about staying at those places, make sure it is a place that you can be overnight if you don't do a campsite. If you're already thinking about doing it in 2025, then you could start budgeting. Budget for camping sites, right? Start to put away a little bit of money just to be able to stay at campsites. I prefer campsites, but if you can't afford that, then you still want to budget what it costs for the gas to get there, and for your meals, and just the simple things that you would need when you're in those locations. Rest stops are really a good place to be able to stay for short trips, or when you're taking a really long trips. But you're going to have to research those rest stops too, because not everybody feels secure enough to stay at a rest stop. So just do your research. You're also going to want to save a budget for the things that you're going to want inside of your vehicle. Always check your house first before you decide to start buying stuff, and see if there are things that you can save on by just going through your household items and not waste the money. Have in mind what your food storage is going to be. Is it going to be a cooler? Is it going to be a refrigerator? Is it going to be something that can keep your food cold? Whatever it is, just make sure you have that in mind ahead of time. One thing I felt was, beneficial for me when I first started out is testing it out. I tested my sleeping arrangement out at home, in my garage, and in my driveway, because I just wanted to see how comfortable it was, or how comfortable it was going to be in the vehicle before I actually went out there. And doing that helped me to see some of the things that I know I needed and I definitely wouldn't want to be without. So do a test run. Do it in your driveway, do it on your street, do a stealth camp in your neighborhood, and just see how you feel about being in the vehicle all night long. And wherever you go, you want to make sure that when you leave whatever area you decide to stay at overnight, make sure you leave no trace. Don't leave that place worse than when you got there. Leave it better than it was when you got there, because that's another thing that is starting to be a problem, is people, abusing the areas, leaving lots of trash, and to the point where they're making it harder and more expensive for people to come after you. Now, one thing that I've always done, even if I wasn't car camping, was respecting the wildlife that is out there in the camping areas. We are coming to their home, basically, and for that reason, you don't want to do anything that's going to cause harm. Get familiar with the wildlife that's out there. If there are bears out there, you need to know that. If there are snakes being seen in that location, you need to know that. So look that stuff up ahead of time, because most of the places I've gone, there's snakes everywhere. There's snakes everywhere. Of course, there's squirrels all over the place. You see deer in most places that you go to. I don't see bears. I haven't seen bears, but some of the places that I visited, they did let us know that there are bears in that area. So know that, be safe, but don't do anything that's going to cause harm to the wildlife that's out there. But I do want to encourage people to support the community, the local community, wherever you go visit, because more than likely you'll deal with the campsite, but there will be a town somewhere close by that you might decide to, visit. So support those communities. If you stay at a Cracker Barrel parking lot, it's nothing wrong with at least supporting their business by going in and purchase something. If you stay at Walmart, the same thing applies. Just go in and support that town that you're in. So single-use plastics is what I'm referring to. Find ways to reduce your single-use plastics. So just to kind of like recap all of this and the whole purpose of this video, find a way to make your dream to do more explorations in 2025 come true. Allow yourself enough time to prepare for it so you can make it the most enjoyable adventure and exploration possible. I have a lot of different videos on my channel so far of places that I've visited or places where I did overnight car camping or hiking and exploring. So feel free to look at those videos. And there's a lot of other videos that show the things that I've used and the things that I really enjoy having. The power source that I use, the kitchen setup that I have, my sleeping setup, all of those videos are, on my channel. So I hope you get a chance to look at those and get some ideas if you're preparing to do car camping, van life, part-time, or even if you're thinking about living in your vehicle. There are certain things on my channel that can be as a help, along with so many other people that are doing van life and car camping and things like that. And you can also see on my channel that I go from a car to an SUV, which is what I'm in now. So that might give you an idea. And I'm very tall, so if you are somebody that's worried about the size of the vehicle and whether or not it will suit you, if you're taller than me, then you may need to research a little bit more, but I'm 5'11", so that my videos might be a help to let you see exactly whether or not a vehicle might be in your best interest to get for car camping. I'm definitely not going to exhaust everything, so for anybody that watches this and have some comments or some suggestions, leave them in the comment section for other people to see. Getting my water at the well here at Indian Springs. I've featured this a couple of times before. Because of my back, I can only carry these two. And actually that's all I need. So, got my spring water, fill. I did something that some people would call stupid. And I've learned my lesson. I was drinking a lot of electrolytes, and the particular brand that I was drinking had a lot of sodium in it, and I had been drinking it basically every day, putting in my water every day. And when I had my blood work done, it showed one of my lab tests had high levels of sodium in it, and it was going to be an issue for my kidneys or liver, one of them, I can't remember, but it was obvious of what was the problem. So I'm not drinking those electrolytes anymore. And especially for the fact that I am not sweating enough to even justify putting electrolytes in my water every single day. my vitamin D was very low as well. And so I am dedicating my life to getting outside every day in the sun, whether it's cold, whether it's warm or whatever, but safely, to spend at least 10 minutes, between 10 and 30 minutes in sunlight, protecting myself, but that will help my vitamin D. Some of those times when I went car camping by myself, I would always forget to bring something that would, entertain myself. I would forget my book. I would forget my painting stuff or I would forget my iPad. But the reality of it is I would be sitting out there doing nothing. So it makes more sense to make sure that you have things that interest you or that you're interested in, because besides hiking and exploring the area, there's not a lot to do when you solo camp. The bathrooms are just right there. You got the women's bathroom on that side and the men's bathroom on that side. Speaking of bathrooms, you definitely want to make sure that you can use the bathroom in your vehicle. Not all bathrooms are created equal. Some are just downright nasty. I'm not referring to this bathroom. It's pretty decent. Water well down there to get the spring water. You have a shelter that you can use for family events or large gatherings. It is a Friday and it's usually very packed out here. So they have a great size picnic area where you can sit and the kids can play. But as I said, it's usually packed out here on the weekends. But I am coming on a Friday and school just recently got out. So I got this park mostly to myself with a few people out here. A way to go to the bathroom in your vehicle is so important when you do your car camping or exploring or whatever you do outdoors, because sometimes you're going to find bathrooms that are just places where you do not want to utilize. I have seen lots of bathrooms where I just could not even find it in me to go into those bathrooms. So having something to utilize in your vehicle to go to the bathroom is big time important. And I have 3 ways to use the bathroom in my vehicle. I have a bucket with an actual toilet seat, and I've done a video about that, and I also have done a short if you want to check that out. I also have what most people are familiar with, and that's a bedpan. But the bedpan is so in the middle of the night when I really don't want to get out the vehicle, or I'm, a little scary because it's dark outside. I can sit on a bedpan that is lined with something that will absorb anything that I put into the bedpan, right? Bucket with the toilet seat, I line it with pine pellets because it absorbs it. And not only that, there is no odor once you utilize it. It absorbs any liquids. And therefore, all you have to do is take your disposable trash bag that you have the pine pellets in and just tie it up and put it in a dumpster. Another thing that I would make sure that I would have if I were choosing to start car camping, especially in the upcoming 2025 year, I would definitely make sure that the bedding that I have is the same bedding, the same type of bedding that I would use in my house. One of my first investments, if I were to do this again, knowing what I know now, is the very first power bank that I get. It would need to be a power bank that I would not have to upgrade to another power bank for, because the one that I got, it was sufficient for what I needed it for. But the more I began car camping, the more I realized that it wasn't sufficient. Where you sleep, how you sleep, and what you sleep with, how you go to the bathroom, and what you use to go to the bathroom, how you do personal hygiene, you definitely want to make sure you have those things, the way that you're going to prepare your food, and the power bank that you need to sufficient power to cook your food, to heat your vehicle, to cool your vehicle down, and to charge up all of your electronics. And you definitely want to consider privacy. So if you can get something to cover up all of your windows when you sleep in your vehicle, or when you just chilling in your vehicle and you don't want people being all nosy and rosy and trying to see what's going on inside your vehicle. So window covers, shades, curtains, whatever you can, those are the things that I would definitely make sure I have prior to starting car camping. And lastly, lamps, light, anything that's going to light your vehicle when you're on the inside. A headlamp, if you have to get out of your vehicle and it's dark, flashlights, all those things are important, especially when you are car camping, because you need a light source to see where you're going when you're out of your vehicle, and you need a light source to see what you're doing when you're inside of your vehicle. So maybe it might be lamps that is powered by solar, or maybe they are lights that is powered by batteries or rechargeable with a USB. Well, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you found it useful. And if you did, leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you thought about this. And for all of my old subscribers, thank you for being here and supporting the channel. And for all those who will be new subscribers, welcome. I love to have you come back again. And if you found this entertaining or informative, thumbs up the video. I appreciate it, and it helps my channel. And look at that. Traffic is already crazy just to get out the gas station. Ugh, that's what I got to look forward to. In the meantime, everyone, good mental health, good spiritual health, and as always, good physical health. Please take great care.